By the time she was 32 years old, and that was 2012 when she was 32, she had a long list of complications, including peripheral neuropathy. Her vision was deteriorating, blood pressure issues, cholesterol issues, palpitations in her heart, long list of problems that was going on. And she couldn't even swim anymore because it was too painful for her to be able to do that.
Oh.
So she went to her doctor, and her doctor said, look, your A1C is 10% and your blood sugars are over 200, which is, by the way, so that's double what it should be. And he said, we're going to have to put you on another medication. I don't know what else we can do. And she started looking at her blood values, and she interpreted them. She realized that her kidneys were starting to fail, and that within a very short period of time, she was going to have to be on dialysis, and that she was probably not going to live for very much longer after that if she continued the way it was going. Out of desperation, in August of 2012, she said, Ruben, I don't know what to do anymore. I've looked at everything, and I'm at my wit's end. I'm wondering if you could help me. And I said, we're going to beat this diabetes if it's the last thing I do. But I have to ask you, are you willing to be as coachable as you were when you swam with me? Because it's going to take that.
Right.
And she said, yes, I will. So we went to work. I had her read Dr. Neil Barnard's program for reversing diabetes. Absolutely the best material out there in terms of the nutritional approach, even though there's more to reversing diabetes, but that in terms of the nutritional approach, it's a primer. And then we started, and I said, set up an appointment for your doctor. So September 10th, we set up the appointment, measured her blood sugar, and her A1C was 10%, blood sugar was 196 that day. And we started measuring her blood glucose levels 3 times a day. And she followed the program to the letter. 4 days later, 4 days, her blood sugar is down to 123, first time she didn't have to take an injection in 7 years, in 4 days.
Wow.
7 days later, her blood sugar is down to 93. It's the first time under 100 in 9 years.
Wow. That's amazing.
10 days later, her blood sugar is down to 72. Now it's actually below the normal range.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have to actually institute, so I worked with her doctor, and we instituted a protocol to reduce the medication and get her off the medication gradually so that she would not become hypoglycemic with a low blood sugar. So we kept following that. She continued to make progress. And we only did the nutritional and stress management work. I worked with her especially on the stress management. And 10 months later, she went to the doctor, and she's off of all medications. And the doctor could hardly believe it. Of course, we gave him a copy of Dr. Neil Barnard's program for reversing diabetes. and he was so astounded. He said, this is absolutely phenomenal. And it's fantastic, and you don't need medications, and you don't need to come back and see me anymore. And so it's been almost 4 years now. So it's been almost 4 years, and she hasn't had to have an injection ever since. But the most important thing to me is that when she was looking at who to bequeath her belongings to and her livelihood to and her life insurance policy to, because she knew she was probably not going to be alive within a few years. Mm. And instead, this process has given her a new lease on life, literally. And she is in the process of completing her doctorate in nursing today. And she's specializing in child psychiatry. Mm-hmm. And her project is about how to empower families and children to make the nutritional and lifestyle changes to help reduce childhood mental illness. Isn't that fabulous?
That is. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing first, just the amount of potential that is in this woman, mm-hmm. and the depth of risk that she got to, and then the way you've twice turned her life around.
Yeah.